This is today's live on Equa Television International. We're so glad that you could join us on today's edition of the program. It's Monday. We're talking about work. You know, it's been said that a lot of people today are capable of doing things and bringing about change, but very few are willing to put in the work. So today we're talking about raising the bar at work. Are you really ready and willing to put in the work so that it can raise the bar to be where you actually dream of being? Or probably you're just satisfied, you don't want to be pushed, you don't want anybody to drag you, you just want to be there and let miracle just happen to you. My name is Joyce Jakarta. I'm not doing this alone. Engineer Tony J. Nakali is here. Good morning.
How are you, Joyce?
I'm fine.
How was your weekend?
It was awesome.
Where did you spend it?
Bauchi State. Jovima, good morning. Sam Solomon, good morning.
You traveled for the
Good morning,
weekend.
Joyce.
You traveled for the weekend. And I'm not aware. What if something came up and we needed you at work?
That's the idea of not being aware.
Wow. Who did you travel with?
My grandmother.
It's a lie. You went to raise the bar high. Oh, is it? What did you say our topic for today is?
I mean, you look good. You took us by surprise. Like, this is not
Wow. But the kayaking.
you. This is not you.
But the kayak, I took you by surprise. People dash me clothes.
I was like, wow, what's happening?
Oh,
Like
you
you left-
raised your bar.
I am grateful that I am alive. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm grateful that I am alive. Thank you so much.
This bar is being lifted up and above. So let's talk about work.
You didn't greet the rest of the
I did. How you doing, Sambu?
I'm good. I'm good.
Jemima,
Thank
you look
you, Joyce.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Your bar is higher and above.
Wow.
Okay, let's leave it there. Let's talk about work. You know, this is the conversation that a lot of people don't want to engage in.
Let's do it, however.
You know, we live in a world where everybody just wants stuff. Like when you mention work, like, can I just have my peace? Monday morning is like one of the morning that people don't want to wake up from bed. People want to keep sleeping and all of that. But you have to work if you want things to work in your life as well. So people want results. People want different results. Probably they have been working and then things have not been working out for them. They want to attain to that height of success. They want to see results. But then some are even asking the question, this I will bless the work of your hands. Is it not applicable to me? Why is it that I've been working real hard and then there's no result? So let's talk about work and raising the bar.
Think about working hard vis-a-vis working smart. These are two different things. You see, some people have to run up and down and do stuff. They are limited when it comes to information, when it comes to knowledge. They are limited. And that is why work is always pinching you. Work is always giving you blows and all of that. People work smart. Some people work hard. People who work smart, they finish a lot that somebody can do in 5 days. They can finish it within a day. Why? Because there's smartness attached to whatever it is that they do. But you see, other people try to work sweat, try to work energy, try to work all of these things. When if you can, and it can be draining psychologically, especially when the results are not coming. You start wondering, why have I been doing this? I have been coming to work even on Saturdays, sometimes Sundays inclusive, but still I am not yet there. The reason is because it's not the magnitude of the work, it's the spoon you are using to eat the work. You know, you are using a teaspoon over a full bowl of rice. When somebody will come and use a serving spoon, smartness. Even though the serving spoon, it also depends on the size of your mouth and what your throat can swallow per time. Like somebody was saying that if you put 2 straws in a drink, that you have tendencies to drink, to gulp more than the person that is using 1 straw. And then I asked the person, I said, what if my throat has a particular ability or a particular quantity it can swallow? It still doesn't make sense even if I have 4 straws, but it depends. Everything must be chained together to work. If you are talking about raising bars high and the standards high, when you see people complain at places of work, the bar is raised high. The executive is demanding more work. Some people are like, yes, now Oga is talking. If we do it this way, we would. I beg, shut up. They want to keep people with work. You are shouting. You see, these are people that are void of the capacity, because in every organization, there are people that think as high as the owners of the organization. Because even the members of staff, they are tired of being in that one particular portion or one particular area of accomplishment. They want to move higher. Why? Because they see challenging environments out there. But certain people, when you say, okay, we should have outgrown this level, we should move higher. GMU and Jemima will move higher. So me, this thing that they are saying, and you recruit people to believe the same thing that you do. So GM is struggling with 4 people, 30 people are against what the GM is saying, and then the organization is still. But people forget something. There is no growth in an organization without financial expansion. When the organization grows, certainly the income of the organization will change. It will change. Why? Because you are doing much more than what you were doing. If you were earning $1 million monthly, if you are doing much more, it can grow up to 1 million, to $1.1 million or $1.2 million, or even $1.5 million. So there's no limit to talking about growth at work. People come to work, I think it was you in one of the today's live, you said people come to work without any expectation. They just come once it's closing time, they are on their way home. What did you achieve today? Work was hectic today because they sent you to 2 different places outside what you normally do. You say work was hectic. Do you not know that at work you see certain people moving up and down? You think they are walking, but there's no distance covered. But they are walking. They are just in one place as far as the organization is concerned. Because see, when you get to that level of being a CEO, being a director, being a chairman, being whoever that is high up there, no matter how hard your staff work, if it does not translate into results, they are wasting time.
It's true. And raising the bar, raising the standard at work, since we're dwelling in the workplace today, raising your standards, raising your goals at that workplace. What do you do? Just like he said, you may be going on and about the whole day without achieving nothing at all. Probably you're just going about so that people would have that assumption that you're up and active and doing something, but at the end of the day you've done nothing. So raising the bar has to do with raising your standards at work, adding up your goals. What are you expected to do when you were given that employment letter? What were your expectations? Are you meeting them up? And then on your own, what have you added to those things that they are expecting of you? That is what raising the bar means doing what you need to do and even more than what you are expected to do. It's not just about what the people in that workplace are doing. It's about what you are doing. Is it right? Sometimes you see people forming cliques in the workplace. You met at the workplace. If you're to leave that job today, you would depart there and nothing would happen. So whatever form of friendship you think you have gathered that is hindering you from raising that bar, from meeting that standard, from achieving those goals, would at the end of the day die. So why would you be carried away? Why would you be distracted in that workplace instead of doing that? Is your primary responsibility. So any other thing that happens in the workplace is secondary. So it is important that raising the bar should be the first and most important thing that you do at work. There shouldn't be any form of distraction that will take your mind out of that, because you can easily be replaced. It's just a 1 second thing.
Okay, Sambo Slumo, I have a question for you.
Okay.
We're talking about raising the bar, raising your standard, like increasing your expectation, pushing yourself higher, not being satisfied with where you are. But to some extent, you can be constrained as an employee, because especially when you're not part of the decision makers. Now, how do you raise? Is it possible to raise like the bar, to raise your standard, like at work, when you have or you are working with superiors, or when your heads like are not, maybe they are not raising the bar. Like you just come to work and then you are expected to report your head, and then work is given or direction is given to you. But when you work in an environment that's raising the bar is not a priority, like there's a culture of let's just do it in this way or at this standard. Like how do you navigate your way through as a person that has high expectation, as a person that wants to push himself or herself higher? How do you navigate working in an environment like that?
Well, very interesting question. I know when you ask questions, I always let me approach the question this way.
Mr. Samuel Solomon is a politician, but quiet.
You always ask very intelligent questions, and to be honest,
I'm just clearing throat. Ask what?
intelligent questions, critical
Is
as
there
well.
nothing in your throat? There's nothing in your throat.
Joyce,
I don't want to cough now, so that
You said she asked intelligent questions. Go ahead.
it is not easy, to be honest. It is not easy. But you see, raising your bar at work or anything you do, it comes from your purpose. And you see, people come to work or apply work with expectation. Some, they are coming because they feel they have what the organization want or need at that particular time. So they are okay. All they want is to get to that organization and just work normal. Some is because of the information available to them. They just feel that is the best they can do and they are okay. And nothing in their environment or their cycle is challenging them. There's greatness. There's something that they can do above what they can do at that moment, that even a particular organization is looking for them for their service at that time. So they feel it's okay, it's normal. Simple example is what is happening in our government institutions. People just go to school, cut corners, get your certificate, and get one office, occupy, and then you are at level 13, 15, and you retire. And that's just it. God help you. Along the line, something come, and then you're able to be at the hem of affairs, that you can give one or two, or you can approve one or two things, that you can allocate some to yourself. That is why you find out all that people are looking for when they come to these government offices is to reach a level of director, that you can approve certain things, or certain office privileges will come to you. And that's when you will see at the end of the day, their target is to get whatever they will get and then retire. Possibly build a poultry or one kiosk or something and then live their life, and that's just it. And people coming around them feel that's a normal thing.
But
do
you blame the
but
people?
no.
This is my question. It's about there's a structure.
Yes.
You know, on one of our program, National Talk, we had a guest, Director of Research, the Office of the Governor, Mr. Polycarp Dato. And when we're talking about bureaucracy and how talking about local government autonomy and all, he said at some point you don't blame some of these workers. You get employed and then you go to work. You're expecting that your responsibilities are clearly stated, or you are answerable to someone. He should assign your responsibility, and the person does not say anything to you, or the person is unavailable. How do you navigate the environment where your responsibility is not clearly spelled out, and then you just go to work and there's nothing to do? You find people just sitting under the tree. Once it's 4, everybody goes. Like, how do you raise your standard? How do you raise the bar? How do you push yourself higher in an environment like that?
Okay, that's why I say it's difficult. I just mentioned one set of people that they feel is okay. But the same government work, you have people that take advantage of that because maybe the ministry, they just feel it's normal the way they work. Because from whoever is heading the office, because he didn't see anything of raising the standard. So they just, all of them come together, you see them eating granite. They eat granite, gist, and they leave. You will not even identify who is the boss there. You understand? Because it's a normal, that's what is obtainable. Do you get that kind of cycle? And then they feel okay. But in that same kind of setting, you'll find out there are certain people that just feel okay. If they ask of me, just say that I stepped out. Do you know that the person is somewhere? Maybe he's schooling. Yeah. The same set. And when
But is that proper? Like, is that...
No, what I'm saying, because the organization feel is normal, they sit with even the boss and gist. The person is feeling, no, that's not what I want. And he look for opportunity to even advance in his studies. Maybe he just feel, if maybe the organization at that moment would be very active, would be demanding, he cannot even further because the demand will not even allow him. But because he see that they are just normal, they are just living, he just feel, no, he doesn't belong to this kind of cycle. Okay. If they can allow me, why can't I just push myself and acquire more education? To some, they see that as an opportunity for them to further, because the boss will not challenge him, because as far as he's concerned, he's not missing in anywhere, because they are not doing anything.
Okay. Just in a world where information is readily available, I think it's a matter of choice to either succeed or fail. When you find yourself in an environment like that, the question that you put to Solo is hard for me to say, but it's a very good question. Is what you find in almost every organization today. You are employed to be a producer in Ekwa Television, and you were given programs to produce. Just because these programs are not on air does not mean you have no job at that point in time. It does not mean. It's important how everyone conditions their mind or conditions his or her mind. It's very important. In this place, be careful. If they don't tell you to do anything, don't do it. But there is something that I will always say. What about your personal growth? Do you not know that sitting in one place idle does not just affect the organization? You are more affected than the organization. The organization is just a building with some desk and all of that. It's the people who come together to make the organization what it should be. And here you are. For example, now, our presence is online. Our operations are not 100% the way it used to be. But you know, for some people, it is an opportunity to relax. Bam! Tomorrow we come online, on air, on satellite and everywhere. And then you start dealing with the difficulty of coping. You will be fired. Only God knows. If we go to a bigger platform and still remain on the platform that we are, is it not more work? And when people think everything, I have never thought of hopelessness as an option. Not me. Not me, sir. I am up and about. I am thinking. There are several things going through my mind. Right now, I am looking at, okay, just because we are not on air on satellite, but we are on air on several platforms, I should just go and sleep and say, my operations are not even 100%. What will I do as GM? So I think if I have ever been busy, it's now. Why? I am thinking so that eventuality does not take me by surprise. We belong in a ministry where things happen every day and anything can happen anytime, any day. We can have an offer to be on air next week. And it comes, then I'm not prepared as GM. Why? Because nobody is saying anything, or they have not
No
called
notice.
me. No notice,
notice.
nothing. They should tell me this in like 3 months ahead. You know, people. You have to watch whoever is training you. Not even where they have been financially, no, but where they are standing professionally. Where they are standing professionally. A lot of people hate to give regards to people that have made it in the same industry. They prefer people that have, let me not say fetish results, but things that they can see that came from the proceeds of what they do. If you see somebody with 5 cars, you just think it's just because the person is making it in his business, so we need to listen to this person. And you see another person trekking, but he's talking to you, you say, he doesn't have anything to show for what he does. So who should listen to him? You just don't know where this other person is investing. You don't know.
You know, I had to ask this question because, I mean, raising the bar should not be about where you work or like conditions that are there. It should start from you as a person. I've seen situations where people give excuse. People don't like to take, like, we live in a time where people don't like to take responsibility. And sometimes I just think, I
And
wonder.
it's not just at work, it's in everything.
Yes. And I just wonder to myself, you as a person, are you satisfied with the level at which you are? Are you satisfied with what you are giving? Like, sometimes I think to myself, and this is not all to me, there is more. And if there is more, how do you give in more? Like, we always sing the hymn, only remembered by what you have done. Like, at the end of the day, is the impact that you make that people will make reference to. So people will just go to work and say, okay, because the environment is not enabling, the government are not even making, in the same environment that people are making millions daily. And then you are there for years complaining, nagging, saying government policies is not friendly, like my boss is not doing my this, is not. You as a person, what are you doing to push yourself higher and to become a better version of who you
People
are?
don't have strategies, Joyce. People don't have strategies. People have ideas. People have plans, but they don't have strategies to actualize it. Now, I would always say, even though people disregard and they don't like all these points that I make, and even some of my staff feel I'm wasting their time telling them this all of the time. Why would you not raise yourself that high that that man cannot do without you? Why would you not raise your standards that high that that organization, even when you write a resignation, they will call you back? Why? There are people that I couldn't wait for them to tender their resignation. Even here. There are people that sounded tired and I had to call them off the scene and be like, you have to keep pushing. You have to remain. There's something better for you. There are people that it is a relief when some people leave you. And it is a thing of concern when some people leave you. Why? You have a plan. You say every government will come. They will go. It's like I'm not even visible. Is this office 26 years? I'm in this office. I've not moved. What do you have? What can you offer? You know, we are always thinking of what we studied in the university, what we have. As long as what you studied cannot proffer solution to a need, you are not useful. You are just being tolerated. And God forbid that you get to a point at work that you are being tolerated. There are a lot of people now, if you say, this person is not making any meaningful contribution here, the person should leave. You see 20 people calling you,
He has
begging.
family.
He has wife, he has children. What will the person eat and all of that? But they don't know what you are thinking, especially in the African context. They see you as a very wicked employer.
He knows he has a family and he decided to.
Do you understand? But the people don't know. You also have bills. You also want to break even. You want to make name in that business. And some of these people that you have kept are a hindrance to these set goals. So Joyce, if we are talking about bars, we are talking about standards. there are people every day you try to raise standards. Okay, just imagine. Some of you have been with me here since 2018. Some of you 2019. Some of you 2020. Some of you 2021, as the case may be. If we had been working collectively with all the standards that I tried to raise, do you think we would be where we are as a channel today? So it is when you see a CEO, believe me, the idea of being a CEO is not just a title. The responsibility is something you can never understand until you get there. Just to be the name, to bear the name CEO, a lot of people think you have a lot of money, even if you do. People will bring problems that are personal. Staff will bring problems that are personal. They'll bring problems that are work related. They'll bring problems that are work related that are personal. They'll bring problems that are not their own, but they are affecting work. They'll bring problems. Sometimes when I look at these problems, I just say, wow, call this person for me. When the person comes, I just tell the person, go, I will see you later. That is it. That is the only way to deal with that problem. Just so that Jemima that reported Solo should see that I've called Solo. But I know that it was not really an issue. Jemima just made an issue out of it. So she's happy that I've called Solo and I've spoken to him. Tomorrow you come and look for this problem. It is not there. What did you do? Nothing. You just called some. That was it. You called somebody and told the person to go back. As if that was a work. So you see, you must understand that when you raise standards, people don't align their thoughts with yours. A friend of mine was giving an appointment. I said, sir, the person that gave you this appointment, if you don't think like him, you will not last. He disregarded it. Now his seat is shaking. His seat is shaking. I told him, I said, look, the person that gave you this appointment, that made you this, do you know how he thinks? This is how he thinks. And all the people that told him about you, you were, no doubt, you are most qualified for this job. No doubt. But the seat is shaking now. I even heard that there is a name of a person replacing him already. Wow. Is he doing the job well? Yes. But is he aligning the goals to the thinking of the principal? No. And that is the reason for every appointment. That's the reason for making you HOP, or making you head of transmission, or making you head of this, or making you commissioner environment, or making you principal officer of this, or making you HOD here, or making you this. Yes, there are standards, basic standards, organizational standards. But also, it is called political appointment. If you are not dealing with it politically, you will not last.
I like the fact that you started touching on the angle of the head now, the employer or the person that appoints. Now, how do you also navigate? You want to raise the bar. You have high standard, high expectations, but your team members, because you can't achieve it alone. And that is why you have a team. And that is why you had to employ people to occupy different offices and all of that. There is a vision and there is where you are headed. But you are surrounded by people. While this person is trying to align with your own goal, the other person is trying to drag you backward. So how do you handle or navigate such situations?
It's such an easy task. When you identify these people, let them go. Relieve them. Because no matter what you do, there is a clear-cut difference between someone that came looking for work with also the willingness to learn and know more.
I think it's easier when it's a private organization.
There is also someone. It's difficult when it's what?
Private.
No, she said it's easier when it's a private organization. It is difficult when it is what?
I mean, it's public. Because why I'm saying this is because you have a situation where employment were based on some nepotic reasons and based on some affiliations, based on some relationship, based on some settlement. And now you as the boss or as the CEO or as the director or the manager, you have a standard, a high, like a vision where you're headed. But this other team member, like, does not think in the same direction as you. It was just somebody that just pleaded with his or her uncle to just get me a job, and then he got to that organization through his or her
There are
uncle.
so many ways. There are so many ways to kill a rat. There are so many ways to kill a rat. Have you ever heard of the word redundancy? You've heard that word before. Yes, you make the person redundant. You can't be a CEO and be out of options. You are not a CEO. It's not just a title, like I said earlier. There are even here. Haven't you seen some things that don't look like due process? You see them. I want to achieve result. Who cares? Who cares? Because if the person that is working is thinking that since this is his table, this thing must come through his table. You see the thing jumping your table, and you see results at the end. There are so many people who think it must come so that they will do it the way they want it done. Is the organization asking for it to be done that way? No. You know, there are people that don't care. We have projects here that till today they have not seen the light of day. Why? Because people said, I will wait. This thing cannot go out. I've seen such people. I've seen people that don't care the pressure that you have as CEO. It doesn't mean anything to them. Meanwhile, I've also seen people who are not directly responsible or connected to that project that we are doing as office. They call you, they say, sir, I know I'm not part of that project, but I see how people are dragging feet. You can involve me. I think I can help. It has happened several times. Joyce, you cannot just come and fire people, like you said, in a private, except if it's a private setting. You can do something worse than firing. Share his salary you are employed for. Because you showed us that's what you want. Keep paying the person the salary. Pick his junior to do the job. You can't do me anything as CEO. I pick your junior, he does the job, you get your salary. When you come complaining, I ask you, do you get paid? Yes. But this is my junior. So are you telling me that I have to work with you and not any other person who is also a staff?
You
Say
can
no,
deliver.
but this has to come to my office first, so you could frustrate it. Why do people come with why is the issue of KPI very important? Key performance indicators. Why are they very important now in organizations? So I can't be a governor and make you a commissioner just so that you can fly memos for me. No. I make you a commissioner, and then I give you assignment that you must achieve every 6 months for me. If you don't do that, sir, even if you to take me one tenure as a governor, let me go with integrity. People say this thing like he cannot do it, he's just saying it. It's not me. Why? Because I have said it even to staff. I said I want to be, if you count this profession, if you count 3 people, I want to be one of them. So you think if I have that goal, I will go and sleep? Oh, sir, I'm doing a lot of research. I'm asking, especially in the areas of how things don't work and why. Why do you think now people work from home? Yes. You see somebody, I worked in a place where we had a staff. She was working from, I didn't even meet her. I met her only once or twice. I didn't know. When you say this, they say post it to this person. When you say this, they post it. Who is this person? I thought it was one robot. One day she showed up. I'm like, oh, you are the person. Yes. She works from home. Right now in advanced countries, they have the options of you selecting from either working from home or, but that is really administrative. Hassan cannot be shooting today's live from his house. You understand? But there are jobs that you have to be on ground to really do. And even security work now, people just do a setup in the organization and they go home and they monitor the office.
Yeah. So, but how now, Jamima? I think I should start with you. Talking about
she has not said anything.
Talking about being deliberate about raising your standard, because in this world, the world is dynamic, is moving so fast, and if you are not innovative, if you are not you ad lib, if you are not innovative, it's like you waking up and seeing that the world has moved far and you are behind. No matter your qualification, if you are not upgrading, if you are not updating personally and professionally, you find out that even your business that made name is extinct. Today there are businesses that we can call names, that before now, like they were blooming. When you mention the names of certain people, they were big names in certain towns, in certain nation or society. But today, like they're like former this, former that. What are the deliberate steps that people can take to raise their bar so that height that they want to achieve? For some people, maybe they're just thinking it's just impossible. You know, some people have this notion of Tomunzore Kiani, like we're just here to escort. Like they don't even believe that anything good can come out of them. But then embedded in everyone is greatness. And the Bible made us to understand that I will bless the work of your hands. That means if there's something that you are doing, like you will definitely partake in
legit.
the blessings.
That is legit.
That is legit. I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something legit. Like, what are the steps that you can take to raise your standard or your bar?
Well, I would say that it is consistency. If you're raising your standard, your hand shouldn't even shake or drop at any point in time. If they say raise, you should know that before you take your hands up, there will be pains, there will be discomfort, there will be talks, there will be distraction. But then you are deciding that my hands has to be raised and I will not drop it for any reason. So before you go into that, you have to decide that you'll be consistent. These businesses that you talked about that were having names and today they are no more, there was no consistency at all. When you say you want to raise your bar, it means that you know that raising a bar comes with challenges. It's a different phase of challenges altogether. If you're together with people, you're all facing the same challenges. But when you step up, yours is totally different. So you should know that there will be challenges and you should be willing to go through the challenge, not to dodge, not to take another road, but go through it so that you come out of that successfully. You don't have to look at how this person settled his own challenge when he was raising a bar, how he settled his own challenge. Yours can come differently. It can even come the same, but your approach will be different altogether. So it has to do with total consistency, not part-time consistency. Like you have to go in with full force and know that whatever comes, you would go through it, not go beside it. You go through it and make headway at the end of the day.
And you have to agree that nothing is permanent. Things changes. And you know, sometimes we are just comfortable, like, okay, I'm the done when it comes to this particular business. You know, no one beats me, so I feel I will maintain that standard. Okay, now people are doing delivery. Like, you understand? Before you were thinking people, you know, just have to come to your shop and buy things. Now people take things to people at home before they even verify and even pay. Not you even paying before they will take it to you. Before it's like that. People pay, then they will bring it. But now they will bring it, you verify before you even pay. So if you are a business owner, a shop owner, and you are thinking people must come to you, and then that's your mentality. You are not even thinking of, okay, now because things are changing, what else can I add up to? Okay, can I bring one or two people again that if people want something, like they can deliver it on behalf of the shop that I'm having. That the mentality of, okay, I'm established here, I have the biggest shop here, so people must come to me and buy. It will shock you. People are doing errands now. People are going to run errands for people. People bring stuff for people. So you have to know, because I was watching something, you know, online, and then it's all about this AI thing, this Tesla stuff and the rest. The guy was just sitting down, just gisting, making his own video, like the car was just moving. The car was just driving him. Yeah, just driving the guy. And he was saying, he said, if you are thinking that the way you live your life before, that's how it continues, you are joking. You will soon be forgotten. And that's just it. We have to agree that the things are changing. The world is becoming more dynamic, you know. Innovations, like people are making research. How can I make things easy for life, for people now? And you see, but some people are just feeling, no, this thing is evil. Then when we are talking of telephone, people thought, you can only use that table thing. But
Landline.
before we know it, during Obasanjo, that's when we started using cell phone. And people were like, wow. But now, what are we talking about? We're not even like during Obasanjo, like nothing will wow you now because the bar has been raised. Small children now using Android phones. But then there wasn't even Android. It were all those Turaya, and so on. But now you don't talk about them. So definitely you just have to condition your mind and tell yourself that things are changing. That's why it is must for even our ministries today to know that things are changing. That's when you will find out that like someone is in the church but he's listening to somebody preaching abroad on his phone.
Okay. I would like Engineer Tony to speak to us on the role of your association or your relationship or friends in helping you raise the bar up, maybe drop your bar down. Like what role? You can be very deliberate. You can have a very smart goals, like goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You can be deliberate about personal and professional, like learning and growth. But what role does like association play in helping you raise your bar at work and even attaining your goal, like generally?
People think speed and not need. And that's why people miss it most of the time. I have had people that have left working with me, that have stopped working with me, just because they feel the progress here is not as fast as it should be. Some of these people have worked in 2, 3, 4, 5 organizations after leaving here. I've not seen progress anywhere near them. What were they thinking? Speed, not need. Whether you like it or not, Joyce, there is a place where you have to sit down and build. Yeah. What are you building? Yourself. You're building yourself. You must build yourself. How can you leave a place thinking when I go to the bigger place, I'll be given a bigger opportunity? With which bigger brain? Everybody is looking for... In a world where competition is of utmost importance, why do you think somebody will condone who you are? Why do you think somebody, just because you look good, just because you look good, even if that is a reason for employing you, one day you become a liability. Somebody say liability.
After the expiry date.
Yes. We are seeing girls, like in Abuja, girls are employed because they are beautiful until they all go through what is called ward round. Everybody has tested that girl. Then she stops being beautiful. Then she's relieved. And then they bring somebody that can really do the job. Going back to your question now. You have a phone, Joyce. And when you plug it in to charge, and it gives you 100%. On that phone, you have so many applications. Right? When you stay on WhatsApp with Tony Nakale, your GM, for 5 hours, do you know your phone battery will not run down as much as if you were playing videos? Do you understand what I'm saying? Just chatting with me on WhatsApp for 5 hours. Your phone cannot run down if you were watching a video from a different application for 5 hours.
True.
That's how people are in your life. That's how people are in your life. You are the phone. People are the applications. Now, is that video important? That is what is very important in this matter. If it is a video about fashion, just to empower your sense of dressing, I don't think it's as important as if it's a video about what you do, empowering you knowledge-wise. That chat that you are chatting with your GM, if we are just talking about staff, their abilities and all of that, just so that we can just, because you are close to the GM, we can just gist about people and laugh about them, is useless. But if you say, sir, I have had this issue, my presentation and this, I really need to work on them. And I've tried all these YouTube videos and all of that. I think I just need to be close to you to understand this. And then I say, okay, Sunday by 12, let's meet on WhatsApp. And then I started asking you issues like, what are the problems you have? I think I do well when I'm on set, but when I watch the videos, I'm not happy. Okay, what are you not happy about? Sometimes when I talk, I find out that I know how to speak English, but I find out when I watch, I don't know when I make these mistakes. And I will ask you, do you really know that this is a mistake? Yes, because I watched the video. That means it's something I can tell you to either consider the sentences that you make. If you are speaking something that you want to sound very grammatical and you want people to think you have great English within you, I'll tell you to simplify it. Then you grow to things. But if you have problems pronouncing words, you have problems, I tell you to read books. I give you. Have I not helped you? Is it not study on its own? It is study on its own. But if we start gisting, remember last time we traveled to Kaduna, I almost bought you suya, but people were plenty. That's why I was so that they would not say, GM, that is how Solo was telling to me. What is the importance of that? Go to people's phones that are working here. It will shock you that if you find out what Solo and Jemima are saying about you, it will shock you that you don't even want to come back to work here. From the same organization. So you see, look at your life as that phone. And look at the people in your life as the applications in the phone. All of these applications are very important. But the content of the application is what should matter to you.
True.
What is behind all of this story? The rate at which your battery is drained, negatively or positively, that is what should be important to you. Because there are people in your life, anytime they come, apart from her, they don't talk about anything. There are people, as if you are a lady, you have a friend, if she's not talking about men, nothing matters to her. There are people that are not as intelligent in your life, but anytime they talk to you, they look at success as a watchword. That is why sometimes you say, how did Jemima and Solo how did they become friends? How? What happened? You don't know the benefits in that friendship. Maybe they have created every Thursday, like I hear our ECHO executive now saying that every, I think, Wednesday, they have prayer meetings. The president this Wednesday, next Wednesday, the office of the vice president, all of them. Why? So that they can be harmonious. And then they said, I think at the end of the month with their families. What are you thinking? There are people in your life, Joyce, that even if it means them dying, discard them. Let them go and die. It's for your own good. It's for your own good. I talk with my children. Do you have friends in school? What are they like? This one is like this one. I say, this one should be the better one. This one. And they feel free. They talk to me.
I had to bring about association because I know the impact that association can make on an individual. Your behavior, your action, your attitude. You always talk about information, the importance of information. Think about it if you've been fed of the wrong information for the number of years that you've been with the wrong association. Like, think of the impact. It won't be just for the years that you've been with the person. Like, it can impact you until the right information comes. Like, God help you that you have the second chance to, like, change your ways. So there are a lot of people that just think that, and even this thought of, I'm just here to accompany this person, Nazoreki and all of that, is born out of the association, the company, the environment that you grow. So if you want to attain success, like I will always emphasize, embedded in everybody's greatness, there's this uniqueness that God has dropped in you. You are there struggling and suffering. It's not because God hates you. And in him saying, I will bless, he did not say, I will bless some. He did not. You are a Christian. He didn't say, okay, I'm picking this and I'm leaving this. Sometimes people sit down and keep lamenting how that God has deserted them. But what are you doing to raise your banner, to raise the bar? What are you actually doing to raise your standard? Some people are just so comfortable at the level that they are. They do not even want to be pushed. And if they see you as that friend that want to push them to growing, they will leave you. I remember back then during my diploma days, I had this set of friends. I would say, oh, let's go and read. Maybe during the time they say, okay, this lecturer is not coming. So instead of us just sitting down and then waiting for next 2 hours, can we just go to the library and read? And one after the other, I'm coming, let me go and do that. I'm coming. Like everybody will leave. Eventually, for some people that their values and their goals does not align with you, they will leave you. You have to come to that point of realizing, what is my purpose? What is my goals? What are my values? My association, like making somebody your friend should be dependent on your values. Does our value align? How can this person help me achieve this?
And let me even break into what you are saying. These people that don't like to go to read with you, they might end up being more successful in life than you. Why? Let me just say it. You might be successful to pass exams. They might be successful to pass life. That's why I tell people, don't read because you have exams. Read because of life. The person that has left you, his own thing is not school. His parents want him to go to school. He wants to be selling yam from one local government to the other. That's what he wants to do. And immediately he gets that diploma certificate and he's done with school. He goes back to that yam business. Today, maybe he's the major importer and exporter of yam within local governments. No, but that is very true.
It's true.
Let's not just think because somebody.
when you were giving the example, I was just about to just mention the name of one of them. She's doing well with business. I mean, she is way billing different.
Let me even tell you something that will shock you.
Doing
My
very
sister,
well.
my sister had a classmate, and then the classmate one day they were driving from Abuja to come to Jos. There is a place in Kefi where they sell chicken. I think I've told you. Laughing.
Yes.
There is a place where they sell chicken. So my sister stopped to buy chicken. She now saw that it was her classmate that was roasting chicken. I was like, let's buy from my classmate. And then she bought the exchange numbers, and then she left. And then her classmate called her. They were talking, and she said, let me just ask you, we are doing this adache, this savings. We put money monthly. I don't know if you have interest. My sister was like, that's cool. How much do you put? She said 500,000 every month. My sister said, how much? She said 500. He said, for how many people? Say per person, 500,000 at the end of the month. This is somebody you think I say when you pack, buy chicken, you think, this one is
privilege.
If there are 8 people doing that business, that's 4 million at the end of every month. Think about it. So you see, school is not just, and I thank God sometimes you bring, when you are yourself, you bring topics like 4 walls, and then street thought and all of school and street thought. Sometimes when you're yourself, you bring some important topics. You know, when your boyfriend makes you angry, sometimes you bring topics like raising the bar and all that. You know, amen. So, what was I saying to you? Some people, some people have made it not because they went to school. You have friends that didn't do well in school that you are going to borrow from now, money. You are borrowing from them. So anything you see somebody wants to become, their passion will tilt towards that direction. There are people that are working with you, your colleagues. This is not what they want to do in life, but there's no way they can do that now. That's why they are working. That's why you are colleagues. So you have to identify this Jemima that does not care about this work. What is the reason?
Her interest might be far.
Maybe the husband promised her that they are moving to the UK.
Amen.
Amen.
Maybe the husband said, and they have gone 50%. She'll be looking at you. One day she'll just tell you, sir, from Monday we'll stop coming to those when short trip like that. UK is short trip. And before you know it, they have left Nigeria. And you start seeing pictures, more children, house, car, and all that, and you start feeling useless. That is why that race is your own and your own alone.
So you identify your area of passion,
I raise the bar.
interest, and raise the bar.
Solo, you have made the topic very useful.
And raise the bar. It might be business, it might be professionally, maybe as an accountant, as medical practitioner, whatever it is, like ensure that you identify that area. It might be as a missionary, it might be as CEO, it might be as engineer Tony Jane Kali, whatever area of like find find that area and raise the bar. There's no need for unhealthy competition. I mean, the market is so wide and big.
Of course,
It's
10%
wide.
of it is
I
not
mean,
tapped
it's
into.
so wide. So just identify where your strength lies, and then look out for people that your values and theirs align as well. And look out for people that their strength complement your weakness. That way you see yourself blossoming. Nobody is cursed. Like, there are people that are actually cursed. But don't look at your predicament or your challenges as God has forsaken me and all. There's always hope. There's always a way out. Thank you so much. Great discussion. Thank you, Engineer Tony,
Happy I came.
Jemima, and Solomon Sambo. Echo Executive, we're really grateful for this platform, and to our supporters, thank you for sticking by us. Those that followed us on Facebook, YouTube, we're really grateful. Thank you. And we'll be here tomorrow, same time, with another topic. Like, I just want to give you a hint. It has to do with self. It has to do with life. It has to do with sabotage. You want to know how you are sabotaging yourself and how you can come out of it. Join us tomorrow, 11 a.m. Stay blessed.